All right, everyone, welcome to another Monday Night Live. My guest tonight is Taylor Newport, who is an up-and-coming thriller author, and we're going to talk to her about all kinds of stuff here in just a minute. But first, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, whether you're on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or whatever the platform is. Visit 𝐬𝐿_ClarkOfficial.com for all the new updates on the podcast, what I'm up to, and then definitely check out the Substack. You can find me over on Substack. It's on JC Author. That's all you have to type in. You'll see my Intel report. Make sure you give that a follow. Subscribe now while it's free because it's totally free right now. And of course, all the links will be in the chat here shortly to include Taylor's new book. So without further ado, let's bring Taylor on. Taylor, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining and doing this tonight. I can't wait to hear all about you and your book and how you got into writing. So let's just kind of start off with a little bit about you. Who are you and when did you kind of get into writing?
So I'm a thriller author, and I got into writing probably when I was 8 or so. My sister started doing it, and I was trying to be like her, so I got into it and just kind of kept going.
Why did you want to become a thriller author? Are you a big reader, or does something else inspire you to do that? How'd you get into writing?
Oh, I I actually have liked reading a lot. I read a lot of Ronnie Kendig's books. She's a really good author, I think. She actually inspired my own writing style a little bit. But yeah, I think starting off for a while, I didn't really know what genre I was writing, but I figured out a few years ago that I wanted to write thriller, kind of after reading some of her books.
Okay. So you're, what is it, the Dauntless series? Did I see that right?
Dauntless Defenders.
Dauntless Defenders series. Yes, the Dauntless Defenders series. How long have you been working on that series officially before you got published?
About 4 years.
Okay, 4 years. And during that time, did you have what was your process like? And what did you learn the most about writing? Because I know for a lot of people like myself, we thought writing was going to be kind of a certain way, and then it turned out to be a little bit differently. What was like your biggest struggle when you were learning how to write and learning how to write fiction?
Um, I don't know. I didn't have a mentor or anything, so I was just kind of learning on my own. I had to rewrite my first book 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot to learn. I think like last year I actually started communicating with other authors and learning more. I think one thing that was hard for me to learn was deep point of view. I think I finally got it thanks to some emails I exchanged with Ronnie Kendig.
So when you say deep point of view,
Yeah.
what do you mean by deep point of view for people who are listening who maybe um, haven't wrote a book and they don't know about that? What does deep point of view mean?
Deep point of view is like really being in the character's head. So there's no narration from the author. It's just what the character sees and hears and feels.
So being more of the narrator and kind of putting the reader in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Dauntless Defender series. The first book, and I had the name pulled up here in a second. What was the name of the first? There it is. Line of Fire. Tell me a little bit about Line of Fire, and what was it like for you, like releasing your very first book?
So Line of Fire is the first in the series. It's gonna be a long series. It's about Australian mercenary. He used to be a soldier, and he is tasked with protecting a doctor, CIA asset, and a revolutionary narcotic that she's created. And the enemy is after it, and one of the people on the bad side is actually the main female character, Alexandra, and she's tasked with retrieving the narcotic, potentially killing the mercenary, but she doesn't agree with who she works with.
Okay. So, spoilers here. Does she get the narcotic, and how does it kind of end?
Well, it actually, it Should I really spoil it?
You can if you want to. It's up to
Uh,
you.
well, she doesn't actually get it, but I'll just say that.
Okay, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And then the next book, which came out this May, No Time
Yeah.
to Die. Let's talk about that a little bit. And what has that reception been like so far, releasing your second book?
So the second book is actually continuation of the first one because I ended with a bit of a cliffhanger there. So it kind of just like continues on the events from that one. And I think people have been really liking the series so far. It's been kind of a little bit slow, but people that have read it seem to really like it, so it's nice.
So, what is the second one about? What is No Time to Die about? Give me the elevator pitch.
Um, so it's so Alexandra has decided that she wants to break away from a group, the evil group, Sector 17, and in order to do that, she has to have some help because she doesn't want to just break away, she wants to shut them down. And so the mercenary has to figure out how to help her do that. And at the same time, they find out that Sector 17 wants to destroy the CIA because of the leader. So they also have to stop him from doing that as well.
Okay, okay. Oh, and tell me a little bit about Sector 17. I know we're going to probably spoil just a little bit, but we won't get too in depth. What is Sector 17?
Sector 17 is a group that was first, like in my story, I don't think it really exists. It was connected to the CIA. One of the higher up agents started putting it together, and then it was someone tried to shut it down, but he ended up taking all his agents and actually moving the operation elsewhere and like doing it in secret.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's kind of it could be real. You never know with the CIA nowadays. It very well could be something that's real, and we just don't know about it. There's so many secrets there. Um,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about your writing process. How do you approach writing a brand new book? Do you sit down and take notes? How big is your outline? How do you kind of get started?
I think I kind of start with just uh idea for the plot, and then it just I have to kind of think about it for a while and figure out what other elements I could add to it, and then I start outlining. I'm a very visual person, so actually, during my outline, I actually have like pictures in it, so I can kind of see a little bit of inspiration of what the scene would be like a little bit. So I just kind of break it down chapter by chapter. I do use an outline system created by Susan May Warren, I believe. The storybook equation, I think, or a story equation, one or the other. Um, but I've started using that, and that helps me break things down a little bit better.
Do you break it down scene by scene, or you just do chapter by chapter?
I usually like have like couple sentences where I have whenever I break down like the scenes, but I don't usually describe them that much. In the outline, it's usually just kind of focused on the overall chapter.
Okay, okay. And then when you really start getting into the nitty gritty of it and you're really getting content, how do you kind of keep track of things from event to event, from chapter to chapter? What's your secret sauce?
So in order to kind of keep things organized and track everything, basically what I do is every day whenever I go to write a new chapter, I will always go back and reread the previous one, so I kind of know where I'm going. It
Okay.
makes it right, and edit the same chapter many, many times, but it works for me, so.
I think that's good. I like to use a program called Scrivener. I don't know what you use, but I use Scrivener, and I like Scrivener because over on the left side, you can create folders for every chapter, and then you can create documents within that folder for every scene. So you can really organize it out. I'm a very organized person. But the beautiful thing about that is not only can you go back and read the chapters and before and after, but like if you're like, hey, this chapter doesn't fit there, you just drag and drop the folder and move it where you want to, and then that's all you have to do. So then anything that you have in that folder kind of goes with it. Whether and you can put a lot of stuff in there. You can put notes in every document. You can attach pictures, websites, all kinds of stuff. So when you drag and drop that folder, all that stuff moves with it. It's really, really cool. And Scrivener's not that expensive. Um,
That's cool. Yeah, I just do it the hard way. I just do Google Docs.
Stu, okay. Yeah, but a lot of people I know use Microsoft Word and Google Docs, and they can do it.
Yep.
I personally, if I need to look up something in the story and I have to scroll down a couple hundred pages to get to something, like I don't like doing that. So for me, I don't like writing in Word or Google Docs, but I've edited some of my projects. Once you export it out of Scrivener, you put it into Microsoft Word or whatever. I've edited it
Yeah.
in there, but building the whole story, I just personally can't do it. But I know a lot of people that are like you that do it like that.
Yeah.
So, let's talk a little bit about how you approach, kind of like a brand new story. Like, so let's say you're starting a brand new story. What's the first thing you do?
You gotta come up with the concept. Actually, I use Pinterest boards to like put together inspiration images. That kind of helps inspire me more. Um, but yeah, actually, I just started a new series a couple days ago. But I don't really know what I'm
Really?
doing yet. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it a little bit. How did you approach starting a new story, and kind of what is it a little bit about?
So it's like a dystopian has this basically these people have moved into this huge city after zombies spread over the entire country, and the city was built by a company. And the main female character, she realizes that somehow the zombies have actually spread inside the city, even though there's a wall and a dome protecting them. And so she has to figure out what's going on. And she finds out that the city may not be as good as she thought. The people that
Oh,
built it, rather.
okay, okay. And you're just getting started on that, so you haven't got a whole lot of it done.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that idea though. It's very kind of like The Walking Dead meets The Hunger Games. Like a pre-built city scenario you're in, but zombies and survival and all that is kind of the inspiration. Did I nail that?
Actually, I haven't. I have watched Hunger Games. I haven't watched The Walking Dead, but yeah. I know how I come to the idea. I think it's like a little bit divergent, but
Okay, yeah, I was thinking that too. A little bit of the Divergent, um, which seems to be kind of like a little bit about kind of what Hunger Games is about. It's manufactured reality where people are put into a scenario in a location that's completely built for them. Um, so it's kind of along the same lines. That's why the Hunger Games was really popular, and then Divergent was really popular because they were very very similar. Um, I think that's a cool idea. I like the idea of a manufactured city, something built for people to exist in, because that level of control that
yeah,
whoever the creators were have immediately because they built everything. So when somebody gives you everything, they kind of quote unquote control you because you relied on them to have it in the first place, which is kind of unique.
yeah.
What other kind of things do you want to write other than and stuff like that? Or do you have other ideas? Do you have a dream sheet of different stories you want to write?
Yeah, I have a document where I have like brief descriptions of different book ideas. I have ideas for a few fantasy series, and then possible sci-fi book, and then more thrillers.
Okay. What other kind of books interest you? Well, you said you were a reader. Do you read a lot of different um, genres, or do you kind of stick with one?
Um, I read several. I usually just like fantasy, frantic suspense, thriller, like military fiction.
Military fiction.
Yeah.
Who's some of your favorite military fiction writers?
Actually, I haven't really read that many. So actually, the only person's Ronnie Kendig,
Okay.
but she has really good books. So.
Cool. Have you ever read? Well, you said you haven't read it. I have a recommendation for you. Is Andrews and Wilson their Shepherd series? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have actually.
Have you have
Yep,
you
I've actually done my.
have you read them yet?
Not yet. They're on my to be read list.
Oh, you should
So.
definitely read them. It's a great series, very military kind of spy thriller, but um, it has a really good message in it, and I really respect those guys. I think you would really like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in reading their books.
how do you, as an author, in a genre that is so kind of action packed, military action, spies, a lot of things that are either violent in nature or dangerous in nature. How do you, as an author, up and coming author, keep it clean? Because I know that's something that I've seen kind of in your social media and on your website, is you pride yourself in keeping it clean, whether it's the action or the language. How do you do that personally without adding those things in there?
Well, for me, like I was like the violence and stuff. Like I have fight scenes. Actually, as long as they're not too violent, I like watching fight scenes in movies. I think it's cool. So like I write out fight scenes, but I don't like add in like the bloody gory details,
The bones crunching
of
and stuff
that.
like that?
Yeah, stuff like that. And then for language, it may not be realistic entirely, just because I know certain people do have certain language, but I just leave it out of the books. So.
I find that I read some books where there is language in there, and you can tell that it's not needed. That it was kind of the author doing their thing and typing, and just kind of hitting the keyboard. And then you could find, well, I served in the military. Of course, I've been around some colorful language before, and so I kind of have an idea of when it's appropriate and when it feels authentic to me, because I've been around that. I was in the military, you know. So I think it's in a way it's part of the art form of language in general, whether it's explicit language or general language, just getting a certain kind of vibe in there. How do you relate that to your characters when it comes to how they walk, talk, act? How do you address the tone from character to character? That way you're giving them some kind of uniqueness.
Well, I guess part of it is like I figure out like their backgrounds and stuff, and like the main male character, he's Australian, so I've done lots of research to kind of make him really sound like an Aussie. And then female character is actually Russian, so there's a lot of different people from different backgrounds and countries, and so I've finally figured out how to actually get in their heads, and so it makes it easier. It's a little hard to explain now that I know how to do it.
I have a friend of mine who he writes for Tyndale Publishing, and he writes kind of a it's not necessarily a Christian series, but it's published in a very clean way. And his name is Ryan Stack. If you haven't checked out Ryan Stack, you should absolutely check him out. He writes
Yeah, actually,
Do you know him?
yeah, actually, I bought his first two books, and actually he gave me an endorsement for my second book.
Did he really? That's awesome.
Yeah,
I didn't see
yeah.
that. Yeah, have you read his books yet?
I actually haven't. I know need to.
You're
I have a
behind.
lot of
Sounds like
books
you're
I have
behind
to
on
read.
reading.
Yeah, yeah, some books, yeah. I had a lot of ARC books to read this year, so I was trying to keep up with all those, but I have a ton of books I have to read that aren't ARC books.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you should definitely check Ryan out because he has that Matthew Red series, and it's very good. It's very clean. There's still some action in it, but it's very clean. And each book kind of has a message behind it, especially his last one. It's a very deep book of family and loss and kind of doing what's right, which is really cool. And Ryan's a personal friend, so I know he's a good guy, and you would like that series a lot. But he told me when he was researching for another book, it was a book by a state writer called Ted Bell, and Ted Bell's very famous. And everybody in the book is like British, so everybody in the book has an accent, and British folks talk differently. So he was like, in order to get myself in the mind frame of talking British, he was like, I just started downloading all Ted Bell's former audiobooks, and I just listened to his audiobooks out loud. That way I was hearing the British dialect, and I was hearing the accents and all that stuff, so that he could then kind of, when he was typing and creating the story, he could kind of get that same vibe out, which I think is really, really important, especially in his situation where he was picking up and writing in the late Ted Bell's Estate series. You don't want to get that voice right, but you also want to be authentic when you're talking about your characters. especially if they're from different cultures. Um, what is something that you have kind of learned while studying these different cultures and trying to kind of get it right?
Uh, I don't know. Definitely learned a lot. I've also researched for Australians. I need to do more research for actually the other characters. Yeah, I've figured out a lot of like their different terms, and I have a couple friends that are actually Australian, and so
Mm.
they can like talk in like their kind of way, and I can actually understand. So that's kind of cool.
So, let's talk a little bit more about the Dauntless Defender series. You said it's going to be a long one. Um,
Yeah.
in this last one, you have the was it the Sector 17? I think you said
Yeah.
is trying to silence the Ghost of Oz. Where does this series go from here, and what do you have planned?
So this series is kind of basically about the main characters like coming together from different walks of life, and if the female character, she's actually an assassin. The main male character, he was a former soldier, now mercenary. There's just lots of people from different backgrounds coming together to team up and like go out there and rescue people that are in danger. And so the first two books are focused on like Sector 17, but I kind of wanted to move away from that for the most part in the other books. There'll be one book where it kind of comes back to that a little bit, but kind of in a different way. But in the third book, actually just sent off to beta readers because it's almost time for edits. That one, they are trying to actually find the narcotic from book one that's been stolen, and they have to go rescue an Indian doctor that was working on it. And so
Mm.
everything's kind of just connected, but like what they have to do kind of changes in each book.
Okay, where's the series going after this next one?
Um, they they have different jobs that they'll end up doing for different stuff. Book four, I can't really share much about most of them, but like they're just like trying to go and rescue people, and then they get where they have to work with the CIA a
Mm.
lot, and like kind of halfway through the series, which isn't really what the main male character wants to do very much. But he's kind of blackmailed into doing it, and then like kind of throughout the series, like they'll be dealing with different like things from their pasts and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. It sounds really cool. It sounds like you got a little bit of it planned out. Um, I'd be curious to see where it goes. And if they find that narcotic or not, and then what they do, what kind of jobs they do have after that. So that's pretty cool. Are you ready to play a little bit of a game?
I'm sure.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you which one you prefer. This is called This or That. And you can just tell me. We'll keep it real simple. So, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee? Okay. Do you put a lot of stuff in your coffee or you drink it black?
I guess I put a lot of stuff in my coffee. I don't drink it black.
You doctor it up?
I don't think I've ever had black coffee.
Oh, really? Okay. Pizza or a burger?
Pizza.
What do you take on your pizza?
Kind of depends. Like I like beef and pineapple. Or I could do like onions and pepper and olives.
Okay. Okay. A laptop or a desktop?
Laptop.
Laptop.
I don't think
Okay.
I've ever used a desktop.
Okay. Um, let's see here. Waffles or pancakes?
Waffles.
Waffles. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Marvel. Oh, that was quick. Marvel hands down.
I haven't really seen any DC movies, and the ones I saw weren't my favorites. So,
Okay. Okay. A physical book or an audiobook?
physical book. I actually haven't really listened to any audiobooks.
Okay. Okay. Audiobooks are kind of becoming a big thing. It's in the publishing world, audiobooks are picking up a lot of steam when it comes to taking market share. So it's
And
I've
there's
started listening to more audiobooks because of that, just to listen to them out loud and to get through more books. But it's kind of interesting about how it's growing. Um, are you a plotter or a pantser? So do you plot or do you kind of wing it?
I'm definitely a plotter.
Definitely a plotter. Okay. Do you like to be cold or hot?
I don't like to be either one, but I prefer to be hot than cold.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. Call or text?
Text.
All right. These are a little more in-depth questions. Let's see here. If you could only take 3 albums with you to a remote island for an entire year, what would they be and why?
Like music albums?
Music albums.
Hmm.
Or you could do artists if you want to.
Artists. I don't know. I don't really have like a favorite.
No? No favorite bands or anything?
Not really.
Okay. If you could solve one unsolved mystery, what would it be?
um. Hmm. What's an Area 51?
Okay, I like that one. That one's a good one. Most people want to find out what really happened to JFK, but I'm with you. I would like to know what's really in Area 51. All right, if you could choose one superpower, what would it be?
I always thought the idea of like having electrical powers would be interesting.
Okay, electrical powers. I'd want to be invisible.
I think that would be creepy though.
That could be creepy, but I think I'd want to do it just so people couldn't see me and I can kind of do my own thing. And when I need to be invisible, let's put it that way, and I need to get something done, I'd like to be invisible that way so people can't find me.
Makes sense.
If you could have a deep conversation with anybody, historical, current, past, present, who would it be and why?
Um, Probably Jesus, just because I'm a Christian.
Okay, that's cool. Would you rather get $1 million right now or $100,000 a year for 10 years?
Uh, Probably $100,000 a year.
For
10
10
years.
years? Yep. You can live off of that, right?
Yep.
You get $1 million right now, and you don't know how long that's going to last, especially if you get to spend happy. You blow through $1 million in a year, whereas opposed to you have $100,000 every single year, you can live off that for quite a while.
Yep.
Okay. Before I let you go, tell me where people can go find more about you and pick up the books and see all the good news.
So I have a website, 𝐃𝐨𝐴𝐿.com. I have a newsletter, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, my handle is Taylor S. Newport author, and then it's just think Taylor S. Newport on Facebook. And my books are available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and a few other places, I think.
Awesome. Well, Taylor, thanks for joining us. Everybody go check out Taylor Newport's Dauntless Defenders series. It's really, really cool. She's an up-and-coming author that you're really going to want to be a part of as she blows up because she's got a really cool series and it's going to go on for a long time. Very talented young lady. Thank you for joining me tonight. We're going to end the stream and go offline, and then I'll let you go here in a few. But thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you.